in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say. It's stamping up and it's our way.
Hello, it's Pauline from Stamp with Pauline, and today is the first card in the Cutest Crew. I really hope you like this kit class, and I hope you can follow along. I'm going to explain everything step by step as we go. I'll go through the supplies for each of the card that you will need. Press pause on the video whenever you need to, and feel free to rewind. So we've got the Cutest Crew stamp set and the dice. You've got that in your kit. Really hope you like the little treats that were also included in your kit. All right, so you've got some scrap white cardstock in your kit. I do believe it is an A4 sheet of cardstock, but if you don't have that and you're just working on this card without the kit, you're going to grab hold of some basic white cardstock for your stamping. I've got a base card of basic white that's an A4 cut directly in half. That's already pre-folded in your kit. We've got some designer series paper, and we've also got a layer of basic white as well. You're going to need the balmy blue ink pad and a blending brush to go with that. You'll also need, out of the stamp set, you're going to need the happy birthday, you're going to need the bunch of birds, and you're going to need, I've got two on this block here. This is the row of dogs and this is the row of cats, because we're going to stamp those. I've also got a Stamp and Write black marker. If you don't have a Stamp and Write black marker, just a black pen will do. And I've got just a range of colours of blends to colour in our little animals. So any colour that you like for any of the animals, it does not matter at all. So first thing, you will also need a drop sheet. Pardon me. So first thing first is, let's get the stamping out of the way. So the very first thing you're going to need to do is take your balmy blue and your happy birthday, and we're just going to stamp that up in the corner. Going to take the blending brush, and we're just going to give that corner section just a little bit of colour over there. Go as light as you can to start with, because you can always add more colour, and just tap off your blending brush so that you don't get that big blob of ink to start with, because if I'll do it on this side, so see how you actually get that mark. So you do want to actually tap off to create that colour just on the edge there. And I'm just going to just shimmy a little bit of colour just around the outer edges, just to soften that, like so. Next thing, what I'm going to do on this one is stamp the, so I'm going to take my old olive blend, and I'm going to use the brush end, and just down a little bit to the bottom, I'm just going to add just a rough little patch of green, just so you can see that. And you do that because sometimes the blend will actually come through the back of the card, so do that first before you do anything else on that. All right, let's move that to the side. What we need now is our scrap piece of basic white. Take your memento pad, and going to stamp some birds. I'll do a couple of different ones because I may change my mind as I go through, and you'll need these for the other cards anyway, so it won't matter if you do a few extra. Leave a little bit of a gap though, because we will be die cutting those out. For this card, you're going to need one cat, one dog, and one bird. And if you don't, you can always mix and match. So if you choose to have 2 cats and 2 dogs, or a birdie, whatever you like, okay? So then what you're going to do is bring in your blends, and you're going to colour each of those in. All right, so I'll press pause on the video here for me. You keep going, you can press pause as well, and I'll come back with those coloured in a second. Yep. All right, so I've coloured those in. I just had to grab a pink blend to colour in the little doggy's tag, and I also grabbed a yellow blend to colour in the bird beak. Now what I'm going to do is actually use the dies and cut those out. I will obviously finish colouring in all of those, but if you grab your dies and cats, dogs, birds. The other thing with the dies is it actually has individual ones as well. So you can, if you don't want to cut out the entire row, so I'll just show you those. So there's all of those. And then there is the die to actually cut out. So I'm going to cut out this little bird here. And I'm going to cut out okay, I picked the cat that doesn't individually cut out, didn't I? Always the way. All right, and I've got the running dog, so that is my running dog there. That's going to cut out him. And then, yeah, I've picked the cat that isn't crouching over, so that's the one that actually cuts out, the laying out one. The dog with his tail up, the cat standing up. Huh. And there's no cat for the end one, or the one laying down. Okay, good to know. Looks like the birds are all there, but not the others. All right, so let's go and cut those out. I will obviously have to fussy cut those out. But if you wanted to, later on with our other cards, we will be actually cutting the whole entire row out of cats and birds. All right, so I'm going to do that. What you need to do with this piece of designer series paper, you will need a ruler. And all I'm going to do is take my Stampin' Write marker, the thin end, and I'm just eyeballing. It's probably, okay, it's about half a centimetre. So it's not meant to be absolutely perfect, okay? It's just meant to be a little rustic line going around the outer edge of our designer series paper. So draw a line and then draw another line, joining those two up like so. And then you just add like a little scribble here and maybe one up here and maybe another one over here, and it can have like loops in it, all right? So you can have like that. What we're going to do is glue this to this base card. So I'll grab hold of my liquid adhesive and make sure the card's opening the correct way. Pop that down. With the other side of this, going to add dimensionals. So just grab some of those. I'm just using some end scrap pieces here. And what I do is take the snips and just cut up bits so that I can use that. So pop that down. And you'll need some mini dimensionals as well for the animals to be stuck on. All right, so we do that. We peel away the back side of our dimensionals. For those that are new here, the reason my dimensionals have a highlighter on them, it's really hard to see that you haven't removed the white backing. So I get a highlighter and just go over the back of the dimensionals. That way then I can actually see that I've removed the backing and I don't have to sit and tap and figure out which one has still backing on it. So if all is well, we should be able to line up like that. All right, now animals are going to go on. Now what you're going to do is take your Stampin' Write marker and add a second freehand line with a scribble around the outside edge, like so. And it just creates a little double border all the way around the card, just to make it a little bit hand-drawn-y. And we'll pop that to the side. I'm going to fussy cut and cut these other ones out. All right, so bring the card back in. What we're going to do is just take some mini dimensionals and pop those behind our little animals. Don't take off the back just yet, because we're going to wait and see which way we actually like our animals to go. So it's entirely up to you which way you want to have your animals facing. If you want them all in a different layer, if you want them touching. All right, so I think kind of like that. So that's a little bit cute, isn't it? Oh, he's so cute. I'm raising up all three of these. You, of course, don't have to. You could glue them down, but I find it just gives that card that little bit extra dimension off this. Thought we'd start off nice and easy with these cards, nothing overly complicated. So just make my little puppy go that way. So I think you could easily stamp a whole bunch of these on a piece of basic white, and then you would sit and colour for hours, I reckon. So that is our card. How cute is that? And then if you want to finish off the inside layer of the card, you of course could add the words. So for this card, I'm going to just grab Have the Best Day, which is in our stamp set, and I'm going to take the Memento ink pad and pop that straight down. The reason you don't need a liner on this card is because it is white. But say I did a mistake on this card when I've done the inside bit, I now have the option to add a layer. Then it doesn't look like I actually made a mistake. So lots of options there. And then for my animals, what I'm going to do is let's do another little, let's see if a little birdie might be the best option for this one. So we could do a bunch, actually what we could do, you could do a couple of things. Let me just see if I can get that to work without, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'm going to clean this because it's got ink on all of the birds and I don't want all of the birds. Just want one little birdie on the inside. You could use one that you've already cut out, like one that you've already stamped, and you could cut it out and then stick it on the inside of the card. But I think for this one, what I'm going to do is take my Memento ink pad. I want the little bird with the beak just there. Now I do have a little bit of a tail sticking, so I'm going to stick my post-it note there, and then what I'm going to do is just bring that down so that I get my little bird there, and then I can remove the post-it note and I have a little bird on the inside of the card. So that is a really cute birthday card. All right, I will see you on the next card. See ya.